My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger. The main reason we went into Iraq at the time was we thought he had weapons of mass destruction. It turns out he didn't, but he had the capacity to make weapons of mass destruction. But I also talked about the human suffering in Iraq, and I also talked the need to advance a freedom agenda.
We start now with some breaking news. Reports are coming in of an attack, or quite possibly several attacks, in Paris.
Everyday Americans need a champion, and I want to be that champion.
I am proud to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
I have not supported same-sex marriage.
I support marriage for lesbian and gay couples.
I voted for border security, and some of it was a fence. I don't think we ever called it a wall. Maybe in some places it was a wall. We will not build a wall.
I am a progressive.
I get accused of being kind of moderate and center. I plead guilty.
I will do everything I can to urge the Congress to reject the Colombian free trade deal.
One of our top goals is to complete free trade agreements with Colombia.
I support a $12 national federal minimum wage. I have been supporting the fight for 15. Elections are about the future. But how do you determine what will happen in the future? Well, you have to look to the record. You have to look to what we say in campaigns and what we have done during our careers.
Speaking of global warming, we need some global warming?
NBC News reports that last year was the hottest year ever recorded, marking the third year in a row that average global temperatures hit record-setting levels.
I know in 2004, I think it was, you said global warming was a total crock of shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my attitude has been reinforced since then.
Just yes or no. Do you believe nicotine is not addictive?
I believe nicotine is not addictive, yes.
Mr. Johnston.
Congressman, cigarettes and nicotine clearly do not meet the classic definitions of addiction. There is no intoxication.
Last year, while 1 out of 5 Americans cannot afford the prescriptions their doctors write, last year the 3 major drug companies made $45 billion in profit because they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on lobbying and campaign contributions. There has been a massive redistribution of wealth in this country. It's gone from working families, trillions of dollars, to the top 0.1%, to profitable corporations who in some years don't pay a nickel in taxes, to the wealthiest people in this country who sometimes have an effective tax rate lower than truck drivers or nurses.
With a group of members booing him at one point, according to 3 Democrats who attended the meeting.
Called super predators.
And I'm sorry that we did not win this election.
The office of President of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Tonight, a government-run Chinese newspaper is warning of a possible war with the U.S. over the man-made islands.
Intense. She's undergoing surgery.
And it is done.
You know what? Right now, breaking news here, stocks all around the world are tanking because of the crisis on Wall Street.
I think we've done a pretty good job staying in touch with the American people, but at a certain point, you can't help but lose some feel for what's on the ground because you're not on the ground.
President Trump lambasted the leader of Australia over a refugee agreement before asserting this was the worst call by far and abruptly hanging up the phone, according to senior officials.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Mrs. DeVos. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for dropping into the office a few days ago. Mrs. DeVos, there is a growing fear, I think, in this country that we are moving toward what some would call an oligarchic form of society.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You'll excuse the fact that I'm out of breath, but
About 10 or 15 minutes ago, a tragic thing, from all indications at this point, has happened in the city of Dallas. Let me quote to you this. And you'll excuse me if I am out of breath. A bulletin, this is from the United Press, from Dallas. President Kennedy and Governor John Connally have been cut down by assassins' bullets in downtown Dallas. They were riding in an open automobile when the shots were fired. The president, his limp body carried in the arms of his wife Jacqueline, has rushed to Parkland Hospital. And if you'll excuse me if I give some directions and we talk about what we're going to do here for the next few minutes, but Bobby, let's tape this, if you please, particularly the interview with the eyewitness people. It is being taped good.